In addition to giving you powerful control over dozens of important editing parameters, the D70 also provides some user interface enhancements that make editing more efficient. Here are a few tips that will make your editing sessions a breeze.
You normally get to the main Edit menu by pressing the Edit button on the left side of the keyboard, but you can also get there by pressing the Exit button from the main Play Mode display. By pressing User, you can see that 5 different jump pages can be set, allowing you to access commonly used screens with just 2 button presses, User, and then F1 through F5. To set your own jump pages, first go to the screen that you will want to access. Now press User, then press Right, and the Select prompt will appear. Now simply hit the function key, F1 through F5, that you want that screen assigned to. If the Select prompt does not appear, the page that you are on can't be assigned. Whenever you're in one of the tone edit screens, you can switch quickly between any of the tones in a patch by holding down the Tone Zone Select button for the tone you want to go to and pressing the Edit button. When in Rhythm Edit, hold down any Tone Zone button and hit the keyboard note number that you want to edit. In addition to being able to change parameter values with the value dial and the increment and decrement buttons, you can also use the tone palette sliders. On most editing screens, each slider is assigned to control a certain parameter. You can tell which parameter is controlled by which slider by looking to the left of the parameter name for 1, 2, 3, or 4 dots. The number of dots you see tells you the number of the slider to use to edit that parameter. What's really great is that you can choose the default assignments and the D70 will remember them per screen. To do that, just select the parameter you want to assign a fader to with the cursor buttons. Hold down the Tone Zone Select button for the fader that you want to assign it to, and press the User button. With 5 patches and a rhythm setup at your disposal, the D70 is great for multi-timbral sequencing.
To set up the D70 for sequencing, call up a performance and press the Part button. This will tell you which patches are assigned to which parts. By default, parts 1 through 5 are assigned to MIDI channels 1 through 5, and the rhythm part is assigned to channel 10. Use the arrow keys and the value dial to select the patches you want to sequence with. The best way to sequence with the D70 is to turn the keyboard part off by pressing F3 and your sequencer's soft through function on. Soft through might be called echo, echo back, through, or mix on some sequencers. By patching through a sequencer like this, it is even possible to layer entire D70 patches by setting one or more parts to the same MIDI channel. Now all you have to do is set the D70's MIDI transmit channel to match the receiving channel of the part you want to play. To do that, just press the MIDI out button. Just like the tone palette in a patch, each performance has its own MIDI palette. The MIDI palette is divided up into 4 zones identified as L1, L2, U3, and U4. Just like the tones in a patch, you activate the channels by lighting their respective tone zone select buttons. For basic sequencing, all you need to do is match the correct transmit channel with the receive channel for the part that you want to play. So make sure that Tone Zone Select button 1 is lit when you call up the MIDI out display. Anytime you want to change the transmitting channel, just come back to this screen and change it. Or some sequencers allow the D70 transmit channel to remain static, and the correct channel is chosen with the sequencer software. Sequencing on the D70 is quick and easy because you can move between the important part and MIDI out screens with the touch of a single button in each case.
Anytime you start piling up tracks in a sequence, available polyphony is always a consideration. The D70 is capable of playing 30 simultaneous notes or tones, but don't forget that a single patch can use up to 4 tones for every note you play. If you find yourself running out of notes, the best thing to do is to scale down some of your patches to work with 1 or 2 tones. Many 3 and 4 tone patches sound almost as good in the mix when you take 1 or 2 tones away. Patch A41 mixed brass is a good example. Sure, it sounds fat with all 4 tones, but take away tones 1 and 2, and you've still got a great octave brass sound for sequencing.
If you've got a patch that you absolutely have to hear, try turning on the priority parameter for its part in your performance. This ensures that your important part will be the last to go in the event that the D70's polyphony limits are exceeded. To find this and other important parameters for each part, press the Part button twice. Now that you're familiar with the basics, here's some more advanced material to work with. Roland product specialist Marvin Sanders will let you in on some of his favorite D70 secrets.
One of my favorite D70 control assignments is pitch bend to TVF. To see how that works, call up Performance DL Moog Base 2, Bank 5, number 8. Then press Effect Control 3 times to get to the controller map screen. You can see that the pitch bender is already assigned to pitch bend, and just beneath you'll see the TVF cutoff parameter. A setting of 0 means it won't have any effect on the sound. But if you turn it up to its maximum of 127, then set its destination to affect the upper tones of the patch on part 1, DLM base 1, you'll get a terrific filter sweep every time you use the pitch bend lever. For each performance MIDI palette, you can assign a different program change to be sent out per active MIDI zone when you call up that performance. This is fine for programmed live situations, but since I use the D70 to control my entire sequencing system at home, it sure helps to be able to send program changes on the fly. Here's how to do it. Go to the MIDI out button. Just hold down the Tone Zone Select button for the MIDI channel that you want to send the program change on, and press Tone. You can send the changes in decimal mode with the value dial, or using the Roland group bank and number system with the appropriate buttons. I like taking full advantage of the D70's pedal jacks, so there's one really interesting thing I need to tell you about. You'll notice that in the system page, you can plug a Roland DP2 into the pedal switch jack on the back and assign it to change to different performances. But it can also be assigned to control things like octave up or down in the control pages. Even better, if you assign it to Effector, it will turn the D70's digital effects on only when depressed. This makes for some great drum programming.
We hope this video has helped you learn your D70 quickly and easily. However, there are many ways to perform these same operations and more functions that the D70 has to offer that couldn't be covered here. Please make sure to read your owner's manual in its entirety to take full advantage of every powerful D70 parameter. You have just watched Up and Running with the D70 Super LA Synthesizer. If you're just getting started with Roland products, ask your dealer about videos, books, articles, and other up and running instructional items.